I am Ann-Peggy Divine. Welcome to the Divine Design, the podcast where we unfold heaven on earth and reframe spirituality and theology for a new cosmic era. Your journey on human evolution and integration of your divine design starts here. Now, before you jump into this episode, if this conversation resonates with you, please like, subscribe, and share this with whoever you feel that needs to hear it. Together, your support helps us sustain this work, bringing transformational wisdom into the world and nurturing the awakening of our shared foundation, Mother Earth. Thank you very much. Welcome to Divine Design Podcast, this 15th of March 2026. This podcast episode will be me talking about what is happening in the world. I woke up this morning and my intuition said, make a podcast, and I follow my intuition. This is kind of the shift we are going through because we have lived in the age of Pisces, and the age of Pisces has been religious, faith, sacrifice, very hierarchy. And we are now moving into the new age, the age of Aquarius, when we know our truth. We know the knowledge, we know our own path, so we take back our power. So it is an awakening to our inner knowledge. And I know that for a lot of people, it is crazy time. So it depends which field are we in. And just starting this podcast, I had so many resistance. The light in this house has been away for a couple of hours. So when I started to record, the light was off, so it wasn't so good. So just in the middle of this recording, the light came on and I thought, okay, I just have to start anew. And even lighting the candle, it didn't want to light. And it's like, wow, I met so much resistance. And this is kind of symbolically for what is happening in the world. What is happening with me, I know that I am a reflection of the bigger consciousness. So when we talk about the universe, cosmos, we can feel it inside. So everything is a mirror to us. So it's like, wow, how much resistance, so much resistance. But do you stop when a lot of resistance? I could say, okay, there are no electricity. I needed to use the electricity net from my iPhone to get this recording. And I used the daylight. So when we get resistance, do we say, okay, no, the world is against us? It's like all my surroundings is saying, no, don't do it. My gut feeling said, do it. So even though we will meet a lot of resistance, so it's kind of, do we stand in our strength or do we do it anyhow? So this is actually this period we are in. It's us against ourselves. Even though we also have soul paths, so we don't choose our life just for ourselves. We choose our life to co-create with our family, with our extended family, with humanity itself. So it is a very exciting time. But I also want to mention something, talking to several people that use TikTok. And a lot is happening on TikTok. They say that they see the other side, that all of the Epstein thing that hasn't been published on the news, they can see on the TikTok. I myself, I'm not on the TikTok, but I see what it does to some people just watching it. And it is so cruel. It is so, I don't have words. There are no words for the cruelty that we have created. We have created hell on earth. Big time hell. So everything that is coming up, it needs to come up. And it can be overwhelming. And also, it is easy to say, oh, this is fake. In this AI time, a lot is fake. But some of the cruelty is so cruel and it is so awful that just taking it in, it does something to our soul. Just listening to some of the people I talk to, I said, okay, why do you watch this? It does something with you. And they said, we know, so we have stopped. But actually also we need to see it, because it's people like us that are kind of open-hearted, that need to see it also. To they can't get away with it because they have gotten away with all this cruelness for so many years, and that's true. So we cannot just brush it under a carpet. So everything need to come up, and the people doing this, yes, they need to they need to face their own creation, because for so many years now it looks like the darkness has won, but now it is a change of time. So all darkness comes up, and it can be overwhelming, and we actually need another language. And I have written 4 books now, just in 2.5 months, and some of the wordings are new. Actually, in the book I have written, Architecture of Peace, I have new words just to reflect what paradigm do we come from, because it is biological, it is medical, it is societal. So all of the different paradigm we live in have different language. And the youth language, even me, I don't understand all. Sometimes I go back, when I talk to other youth, I go back to my own kids and ask, what does this mean? What does this mean? I am old, kind of. I'm an old generation. I was born in the beginning of 1970, so I am kind of the old generation, and to this escalation of what is happening, it is huge. So my specialty is to live as homoluminous. I know that our state, we create the world we experience, and all of us are now in this journey to live as homoluminous. And if we see the past, we see all the darkness, but also where we are now. In the Atlantic time, we have lived as homoluminous in earlier times. When I was a Maya, I knew that this was a golden age. So I chose to incarnate in this period because I wanted to experience it. And also my soul gift have been in so many lives to hold the sacred space. I am a sacred space holder. I also say that I am a field holder, because I am a field holder. So you can come with your shadow side, because we need someone just to be holding. That's the feminine side. So I am a feminine holder, so that everything can come up. I don't judge it, I just hold it. And this is actually most women are supposed to hold, but there are different dimensions of holding. I was only in the personality, the old consciousness, when I hold the field for my children, but now I have upgraded and I live as the oversoul. So I hold the oversoul field, and that is the 5-dimensional reality. And we are connected to past, future. It's kind of all life is interwoven. I only have the here and now, but at the same time as I have the here and now, I also can sense what I have created in the past and what I will create in the future. So we have everything. So it is a totally new way of living. And when I started to record this podcast, the first book that came through me, that I birthed, The Architecture of Light, was kind of, okay, chapter 9 of this book is speaking about the relational architecture. So I thought that, okay, I can read some of the paragraph of this chapter 9, because living hierarchical, we are so programmed with this hierarchical way of being, but we are going into relationship architecture, that what is happening in the human body is also happening in Gaia, is happening on the sun. And everything is alive on Mother Earth. Mother Gaia is alive. So everything is ensouled. We have everything has a soul. When something is alive, it has a soul. So we need to take back the soul as a concept, because there are a lot of people that say, I don't believe in religion anymore. That is okay. We don't need to believe in religion, but we need to believe in the soul, because the soul is the essence of us. It is the divinity of us. We are moving from Homo sapiens to homoluminous. And homoluminous, it is the divinity of us. The divinity of us, that's the biggest gift we are given. And we have lived from this three-dimensional being, not living with this divinity of us. We are multidimensional. So when we live with this multidimensionality, we are in the third dimension, the second, the first, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. We combine all dimension. And when we combine all dimension, what we call extraterrestrial, it is a part of us. And I will not go into it. Wow, a lot of fingers came up and I was like, wow, who is this alive? even the Mac and the recording is alive. It's like when I did that, the Mac came up with the hums. So everything is alive. So even this Mac demonstrated it, that everything is alive. So now I will read chapter 9. Not the whole. I will just read the first 5 paragraphs, just to give you an understanding of not to put everything in hierarchy, but that everything is relationship. We are in relationship to each other. We are in relationship to our computer. We are in relationship to Mother Earth, to the universe. We are in relationship to everything. So everything is relational and proportional. So it is, what kind of measurement do we use? So I will now start to read from chapter 9, Relationship Architecture, the path out of hierarchy and into living proportionality. Throughout much of human history, we have measured reality along vertical lines. We have ranked ourselves, one another, and nature itself into levels, higher and lower, better and worse, stronger and weaker. This structure of thought has been useful in times when humanity sought orientation within a complex world. Yet, it has also instilled the belief that everything exists as separate layers. Hierarchy is a language that divides reality into segments. It creates distance between the human and nature, between the human and the divine, and not least between the human and their own essence. Hierarchy is a system that measures vertically, a system that seeks control rather than connection. Once the nature of consciousness is understood, the vibration that animates all life, the intention that directs its flow, and the unity that binds all levels together, it becomes clear that hierarchy thinking does not align with the deeper structure of reality. Resonance logic shows us that everything communicates through fields, not through ranking. The living field connection reveals that consciousness is not an individual phenomenon, but a shared space in which everything influences and mirrors everything else. The monad reveals that the human is a nodal extension of the universe's intelligence, not an isolated unit. When this understanding arises, the old language falls away. It no longer makes sense to speak of higher and lower, for everything exists in relationship. Gaia, the earth, has never operated through hierarchy. Her language is not a ladder, but a weaver, not a system of levels, but a system of proportions. Every movement she makes, every rhythm she holds, every pulsing of weather, ocean, tectonic plates, and magnetic fields is part of a larger dialogue in which everything exists in relationship. Nothing stands above anything else. Nothing stands beneath anything else. Everything functions in service to the whole, and the whole cannot be understood apart from the sum of its relational proportions. This is relational architecture, the geometry of living reality itself. This coherence is not maintained by structure alone. It is sustained through a relational field that allows all parts to remain connected without hierarchy, control, or linear command. This relational field is not another structure within the architecture. It is the field through which the architecture remains coherent. Relational architecture describes the world as nature actually functions, as an organism, not a staircase, but a network, not a system of competing paths, but a coherent pattern of rhythm, cycles, and proportion that supports one another. The heart is not more important than the lungs, just as the ocean is not more important than mountain range. Each part pulses at its own scale, its own rhythm, its own function, and each part is irreplaceable. This is also true for the human. The body consists of layers of consciousness: monad, soul, and body, and none of these layers stands above the others. They exist at different densities, but in perfect proportion. The body is not less sacred than the soul. The soul is not higher than the body. They are one organism expressed across 3 frequencies. When we begin to perceive the human through the lens of proportionality, everything falls into place. The slow rhythm of Earth's tectonic plates mirror the deep architecture of the nervous system. Ocean currents mirror the circulation of blood. The atmosphere mirrors the lungs. Weather mirrors the human emotional field. The magnetic field mirrors the expanded space of consciousness. There is no symbolism here. There is pattern. Nature's intelligence and humans' intelligence are not separate systems, but proportional expression of the same architecture. Gaia and the human are one organism expressed across 2 scales. So, the invitation now is to go from hierarchy thinking to relationship architecture. Everything is in proportion. My human system is in proportion to Gaia system, is in proportion to the solar system. And just saying this, I also want to mention another thing, because since yesterday I have had headaches. My body is going through something, and I know that it is solar flare that is affecting. I am very highly sensitive, so we have said, oh, I have done this. It's kind of, we know why we are sick, why we have headache, why, because we see it very small and we think it is the small things. But I am more in tune to the bigger scale. So when there are bigger solar flares burst, I feel it strongly in my body. And it started 3 o'clock yesterday. And suddenly I was like, I needed to go lay down on my sofa. I was like, what is happening? And I understand that, okay, the universe is really transforming, ascending, and all this ascending. Mother Gaia is ascending, the sun is ascending, the universe is ascending, human body is ascending. And my girls was training at the training station, and they said, well, something happened. We didn't have energy. It's like we used double time because we didn't have energy. And it's like, I understand. So it is happening so much, and we want to understand it all, but we cannot understand the complexity because we are ascending, and we have a lot of ascendant symptoms. So we can say that, oh, it was our husband, it was our mother, or blaming, but it doesn't help. The blaming game doesn't help anymore, because now we are interwoven with it all. We are interwoven with Mother Earth, with our animals, with cosmos, with all life. So even me, I am at the child stage almost, because when I became this void, had balanced out this life and also past life, it was the 31st of December 2018 and the 1st of January 2019. So I have only lived in this new state for 7 years. So I'm also almost a baby. But at the same time, yesterday I got the channeling and it said, you are one of the front waves. And that was probably why I got the intuition this morning to make this podcast by my own, because I am one in the front edge of this new wave. It doesn't mean that I am better. So again, I know that I say it a lot because we are so programmed to think, oh, do you think you are better? I don't think I am better than one sleeping, no, don't have any home, sleeping on outside, have lost it all. I know that this can happen to everyone. And if we take a learning from what is going on, like the Epstein case, it is amazing in itself. What if we see behind it, it is cruelty. But when we see that it is coming up, it really shake whole earth, whole humanity, because this has been going on for so long, and it needs to come up so that we can create this new platform. And someone say that it will take 100 years, someone say it will take several hundred years. When I go into this, when we go 100 years into the future, we live radically new. It is, most of us, it is just a tiny small kind of very immature childish part that wants to rebel, but we have said yes on a collective level, so we are headed there. And when I was in the dark night of the soul, and it was so much pain, it was pain for 6 years. And if someone could have told me this, it is a meaning behind the pain. It is, you will, in the end of this tunnel, live as homoluminous. I had no idea. I wish that I had someone that could tell me that this will really turn out like heaven on earth. I'm glad that I have walked the process, but it was hard. So when I say, oh, everything is so amazing, I have several groups, and in some of the groups they say, oh, life is so amazing, you don't need to relate to all the garbage. We need to help one another. Someone also told me, why do you adjust to 3D dimensional people? Just get rid of them. That's not correct. Then we do the old way. That's the mental. It's like, oh, we are above. We don't care about the one that really struggle. I care about humanity as a whole. So if you are a prime minister, or if you are a guru, if you are Christ, or if you are kind of the one that we put lowest, it doesn't matter. We need to help each other. We are all in it together. And the one we have been waiting for is ourselves. I live by Mahatma Gandhi's quote, be the change you want to see in the world. I have become the change I want to see in the world. And all what I am talking about in this podcast, I want you to reflect deep on this. What is the change you want to see in the world? Become that change. If all of us become the change we want to see, we create heaven on earth. We cannot do what we have done so many years. Point finger. Oh, it is our government. It is our prime minister. It is. We need to point, use our thumb into ourselves. We have to become the change. We are responsible. And yes, I know that a lot of trauma, a lot of violence and everything, it's not that the people that have done it, karma, the book that is knocking on me now, it is The Architecture of Karma. So the next month or 2 months, I will create a book about the architecture of karma. And the architecture of karma is big, because I have my karma, and we have a family karma, and we have a societal karma, and even a cosmic karma. So karma is not punishment. We cannot think about karma as punishment. It is our own creation. What you meet is part of yourself. So karma is actually an amazing thing because it is our life communicating to us. When I will give an example because this popped up. In 2014, I bought a new car. It's the first time I bought a new car. I bought an electrical car and I loved it. It was amazing. But it didn't take charge. So it was electric and I was supposed to charge it, but it couldn't take the charge. And I was in and out of the mechanics because it was a new car. It was supposed to function. And for more than a year, it didn't take charge for real. But because I was at my lowest, my life collapsed in 2013 and I bought the car in 2014 and I was fatigued. I couldn't charge. It was like I wanted to sleep. And even though I slept, I wanted to sleep. It didn't give me any extra energy. So I was kind of very fatigued and the doctor prepared me to die. So I was in the darkness of the soul and my ego collapsed and I wasn't charging. And the car mirrored it to me that I wasn't charging. Even my dog, my dog's name was Sumba. She also get the same, and she got medicine to because she was a dog and she had no energy to walk. A dog that hasn't energy to go for a walk, it's like crazy. So my dog and my car, both of them mirrored me, no energy. So my old world, Homo sapiens, was dissolving. It was kind of collapsing. So it was mirrored big time. And then after a year and 2 years, my dog became healthier and suddenly my car started to charge. And then it was perfect. I didn't do anything. I changed. I became more and more strong in me because I was going through the transformation. So the only thing I did, I become stronger. I went from Homo sapiens to be stronger in homoluminous, and then the car mirrored me that it became stronger and stronger. And I know that for someone it will feel kind of, is this for real? It is for real. So your car can mirror you, your children, your siblings, your work. All life is speaking to us. Everything. So everything is interconnected. So when we understand this, and it's like, oh wow, and follow our gut feeling, like this podcast, even though everything around me kind of, no, resistant, how strong are you in your homoluminous? Homoluminous just know. It is an inner knowing. You live from your inner knowing. So even though you know that it is war, it is the Third World War and what Donald Trump is doing and all the crazy thing that's coming up, this needs to come up. We are moving against a golden age. So, and all the books that come through me, I say that I birthed them and I have gone into my strength, and my strength is to birth. And also this is kind of an invitation for all of us. What are your strengths? I know that you have unique strength because the strength we have, it is for our family, for our society, for the world. All of us come in with gifts. The new homoluminous, they come in with so much gift. Last week I was traveling and I met a friend of me that had her child, Benjamin, and he is a homoluminous. And I hold him in my arm and I talk to him. It was emotional. He is the future. Just by being himself, he is what we have been waiting for. But our generation that has been in the middle, we need to, or we are invited to transform, or we can die out and then come into another form. But karma is a system that helps us to evolve. It helps us to understand what we have created. All the illness we have, it is telling us something. Our body is so wise. It is so intelligent. So to listen to it. So when yesterday it was kind of a lot of headache, and I was kind of, and I thought, okay, my body feels the solar flares. It feels all what is happening. And when you go through this process, it can be a lot. And the old way of, because I wanted to understand, but I also needed to give away my need to understand everything, because my need to understand everything was the one that actually holded me from the last transition from the old to the new. I needed to just transform it all. It's kind of surrender completely. And that is probably the hardest, because I surrendered and I surrendered and I surrendered. And then when I thought that I had surrendered all, it was even more, because it's subtle. So it is an amazing time, but just remember, what field do you go into? When someone come to me and ask if I can clean their house, sometimes I can say yes, and sometimes I say no, because I know that some of the portal and some of the area that we have created on Earth is not for one person to go into. I need several that do the same as me. Maybe if we are 10 person, we can go into a very negative portal. Like an example, like what Hitler did, mass murdering, this cruelty that Hitler did, and also the cruelty that have come up in Epstein files. It is just only Epstein. It is a lot of people, and it's a lot of the top people. So Epstein is a symbol, but there are so many more than him. And all of this is a jump. And I have to say, I'm sorry. My phone call, just everything stopped, and I was in the middle of the recording. This is what is happening. A lot of resistance. So this was a jump from what I was in. I was talking about all this thing that is coming up and karma. And what do you do when thing pops up when you are in the middle of something? Do you stop it or do you continue? So this is also feedback. Everything that's happened to us is feedback. I have gotten more resistance this day than normally. I am in such a flow. But after what happening with the solar flare and the crazy thing, I have seen kind of resistance. It's like stop. So it also invites us into even slower living, slower life. And I will end this podcast just to talk a little bit of this karma, living with the karma as a tool to understand our own psychology, our own past life, future life, what we have chosen before we come into form. In 2020, I met my grandchild and I was, is this for real? Because when you have upgraded yourself to become homoluminous, you experience miracle, magic every day. So I want this for everyone. It's like, I love my life. I really love my life. And I want all to come to, and I know that all of us will, but it is our own beliefs and it's our own system that is in resistance. That's, yeah. So all the resistance, oh, wow, I had an aha. I had an epiphany now. All the resistance I have experienced, it is the collective resistance we have to go from Homo sapiens to Homo luminous. Oh, muamarat. Yes. Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. Oh, and I get a lot of confirmation. Yeah. So, and I know that often we think, well, I don't have so much resistance. I don't resist. But it is so subtle. I remember me walking the path. It's like, it was so subtle that I needed someone to guide me to say that, well, that is actually a very subtle, because it is going to this process from one type of being to a total new type of being. It is also what, as I have said to a lot of people, record yourself, write diary, because when me living in this Homo luminous, if I go back to 2013, it's such a big jump that it's kind of, it feels like it is a past life. it's like, it's not me at all. It's like I cannot, it is so big difference. So my past life is someone closer to me than what I lived before 2013. So it is such a radical shift. And if I go and remember it all the time, because a lot of us is programmed, remember, and then you program yourself with the memory, the low state memory. So we want to get rid of it. So I don't go and remember all my past before 2013, even though, yes, I have diary and I have written a lot, but the state, I can go into it, but I also know what it does to this. This is in the here and now all the time. So if I go into the Epstein file, for example, the cruelty, I feel it in this body. I activate what I read. I activate this body with it. So from every second, we have to be kind of, okay, all what I focus on is actually doing something with my body. All my emotion is doing something with my body. So it is we creating life from second to second to second to second. And karma is kind of the pattern that we have created. A lot of people that I have guided the last year, it is karmic stuff that comes up. And someone called me last week and said, I have this enormously back pain, and I haven't lived with back pain. I don't understand. And I said, well, I see that it is a past life that wants to go up. So you can go in hypnosis and go down and see what it is. And this person do it very fast by itself. So she just did 10 minutes, go into, like the Silva method is kind of go into hypnosis and you go down. And then she saw the life in Taiwan and an animal I hadn't heard about that was killing her. And also, but she had this, she just went to it for 10 minutes and then she balanced it out. So karma is a mirror to us, so we all the time can balance ourselves. So that's why I have been guided, offer the sacred space and the regression that you do. Someone that do the regression with me, they only take this life because this life is the most important. But then when I guide them, suddenly picture happens in their mind and it's what is this? But it's just to be in that, to transform it, because we are invited now to transform it all. So karma is the tool that we use to balance out ourselves. And also in that you can go into future. So karma is not a punishment system. It is how we learn, how we understand our physical life, what we have put out on Mother Earth. We have for so many years lived in hierarchy, so that's why we feel it in our body. And I meet a lot of people that have experienced sexual abuse, and it is this that is coming up. And I have several times go into my life experienced sexual abuse in the beginning of 1300. I said yes because I was a field holder. So from my soul before incarnation, I said yes to go into this tribe, help them to hold the field. When I incarnated in this form and hold the field so that they could upgrade, I experienced a lot of sexual abuse. And the sexual abuse was so hard on my body. So even though I knew, because I knew that life, I was kind of, why was I so smart in that life? And I felt kind of, I wasn't so smart in this life when I was before the dark night of the soul. But at the same time, it was so painful that I commit suicide. I gave myself to the jungle animal because it was so hard. So experiencing all what is coming up with the Epstein side, it is so hard on us. And me also being a therapist, holding the space for a lot of people that has transformed it. And also when we had this ceremony, a lot of women, even though not all of the women had been through abuse, they knew someone. So it was a collective. It was our grandmother, it was our great-great-grandmother or someone. So all of us know someone and we can feel it. So we help each other. So it is a collective karma. So we went very deep in sexual abuse in this ceremony I had, because it was so deep programming. It is into our bone. It is into the densest part. So it is so hurtful that I actually commit suicide in that life. And even though you don't believe in past life and all, it is everything is experience. So we are now moving into direct experience. We have now had a hierarchy. It was a leader that told us how to do things, but now this time is direct experience. So everything that I tell you, don't believe everything I say. Just say, I'm up to experience the same. I want to have direct experience. Like I now understand why it was so much resistance in this field. Yes, it is the collective. I have said yes to be more in the collective field, because helping humanity, I need to be in the collective field. Yes, I can be in heaven on earth all the time, but just me being in heaven on earth, I don't help. I do it when I hold space. Then I hold space for you if you wanted me to help you. But I tune into the collective consciousness and feel what is going on. And also that remind me that a week ago I was invited to, or I actually was invited into this a year ago, but I started it a week ago. I have started to field reading. Someone call it blog, but every week I read the field, and I will on peggydivine.com. It is page where it is field reading. So every week, I started week 9 and now it's the week 10, and so every week I read the field what I have been into, just to show what is happening. So in week 10 I channeled the Nordic consciousness. Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Iceland, Greenland. So 6 countries for 6 days. From the 1st of March to the 6th of March, I channeled the Nordic consciousness. And I met people that hold a piece of it. And that's, I say it because that's kind of the collective mirror. And I have said several times that we in the Nordic, we need to take responsibility because we want to make peace. And since we have so small country, it is easier for us, even though it is corruption also in the Nordic countries. And the one who have it hardest is Sweden, because there are culture Sweden have the hardest time about a crash in culture, and it has been mafia, ghettos, killing, raping, and it's very hard in Sweden. So Sweden have the hardest time right now in the Nordic countries. So Norway and Denmark and Finland need to help Sweden because it has actually escalated. So Norway also experienced similar phenomena. So, but all of this is coming up. So we are all in it together. So it is collective karma, it is cosmic karma, it is individual karma. So this karmic book will come out, and also all the 4 books that I already have written. Earlier I have said I only want to use Lulu, but I have got feedback that people want to buy it from other places. So I will do my best to also put it on Amazon. So this book is important because it is written from homoluminous, from the place, so that it will be easier for you to go through the transition. And all books have guided meditation because it is not a mental living, it is direct experience. And doing the podcast with Colin and Kathleen, they have read the 3 first books. They said they were activated. Wow, something happened with us during this. It was upgrade. And they are already high homoluminous living, but they really felt what the book did with them. So I know that this is the future book. So since I already live in this field, it is kind of the future platform so that you can help yourself with all that is happening. And I will end this podcast by saying, remember, life is for you, not against you. Even the pain, even the struggle, even the resistance, everything that pops up now, it is for us, because we are now creating heaven on earth. And it is true chaos, because all this chaos, it is the old dark age that we have created, and now we are moving into heaven on earth. And with those words, I wish you the best 2026, 27, 28, even though this year will from the outside look awful, but all the awful need to come up so that we live as homoluminous. Bye bye. Thank you for listening to the Divine Design podcast with Ann-Peggy Divine. Join us next Sunday for another Heaven on Earth unfolding conversation. With grace, reverence, and unity, may the path of your divine design light the way. From the divine in us to the divine in you.